Hello, everyone. Welcome to another show of I'm That Geek, where we put you face to face with the experts, the people that you can't reach, but you can talk to right here. Today, we are talking about LinkedIn. It's a gold rush out there, and so many people just don't know how to take advantage of that. And for that, we have with us the amazing Alicia. How are you, Alicia?
I'm awesome. Excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so excited that you're here because we've been talking, in the green room. And there are so many things, guys, that, you look at people who are marketers, who have been there online for a long time, and then you look at how they present themselves and whack, right? There's, like Elisa was telling me, we're all stuck in our brain, right? We're all stuck in our brain and we are talking from our own perspective, and this is not what people are looking for. Everybody's looking for their own benefit, right? Whatever is in it for them. And when we don't talk like that. We talk what's in it for us. Look at my great service and look at my awesome thing and all that jazz. So Elisa today has a system that she is going to share with us of how you can transform your LinkedIn profile and how you can get 3 to 5 leads that you love. And I love that you say that, Elisa, because getting leads can be easy. You can just buy them, right? But finding people that you love working with, completely new story.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Leads you love. But for me, LinkedIn is the very best place that I've been on since I worked for IBM, and people expected you to be there. So they expected you to show up at their job site. And I've also done everything in between, all the way to inside sales, where people would tell you to stick a corn cob up your nose. So I've had every source of leads that there is in the world, and LinkedIn is the best thing to IBM calls, if not better, because at IBM you just got a couple of clients and your life is very static. On LinkedIn, you can reinvent yourself a bajillion times. And when you get on a call with somebody, it's like, if you've ever done a cold email, maybe it'll take 2 or 3 calls before the first call, people are like, who is this? What's this about? Right. On LinkedIn, everybody knows what everybody's about. And if you make it super simple, if you make it super clear, and I'm going to show you show everybody with your page, how we're going to make it clear even for you, who does something so complicated, a lot of marketers don't even understand it, but phenomenal. I mean, what I'm looking at right now is the incredible gold rush on LinkedIn. Just because I'm sitting on a pile of gold right now, I want to make sure that I get for my own business everything that's here first. And then for me, my next step is to go live with what you're doing, of course. And as soon as I can get live for myself on LinkedIn, because not everybody gets to have it right now.
Yep.
So yeah, I see what you're doing, and I love how you're pulling people off. Like, on Facebook, I've seen people with 500 person groups get closed down. Their whole business is completely gone. Google SEO, that was the awesome gold rush like 10 years ago. If you're on the first page of Google, you're set for life, you think. Then they change an algorithm and everything changes. Yep. Well, right now, not everybody's got their act together on LinkedIn, and it's going to take quite a while. But in the meantime, sort of building up your list and everything, and making sure you're secured with a great video strategy, getting your stuff off of whatever platform you're on and owning it, I think is absolutely brilliant.
Thank you so much. So guys.
No, I love what you're up to so much, and I've been wanting to do a profile makeover for you. And what I mean by profile makeover, the first step is to just get the words right. So basically, if we have like 3 to 5 seconds of somebody's attention, let's smack them across the face with your awesome, so that if they are an ideal client, they'll stop for a second, right? So every place that I can think of to make people stop and take notice, on the LinkedIn, I call it the LinkedIn landing page, basically your profile page. I just do little hacks all the way down the page.
So we're going to dive into that, guys. And what's amazing is that Elisa has a real strategy. Hey, Jocelyn, she's here. She says she's excited to see Elisa and sharing. And Michael Daniels, hey Michael, jump over from LinkedIn, from Facebook if you're not working right now. So the place to come, thatgeek.com/live, because at the end of this, I will show you how you too can get 5 days to work with Elisa and get your own makeover. So here's the interesting part. When Elisa and I were talking and sharing about, like, hey, what do you think about my profile? I think it's pretty cool. And everybody who looks at my bio says like, hey, I think that's pretty cool. And Elisa came in and she goes like, let's see what your audience says about you. So she compiled an entire sheet that she's going to share with you, and she has a system to go around that. So we're going to share that with you in just a second. But before we go there, before we dive in, Lisa, let's talk a little bit about you and how did you even come up with this system, right? Because as you told me back in 2016, you were really struggling and to figure out how LinkedIn worked. What brought you from where you were and to where you are right now? And why do you think, this is working so much better?
Well, I had a phenomenal coach. His name is John Logar, and, strategy, big picture and everything. And he had some phenomenal copy that I used with, I can't remember the tool's name. Is it Lead Fuse? I think it's Lead Fuse. And I stuck that copy in and ran that puppy, and I was getting appointments and closing clients, but I was always wanting more. Like, it was never enough. Mm-hmm. And so something just kind of clicked in me, and it said LinkedIn. And I watched a 5-minute video. I actually spent $2,000 for this entire marketing agency program. And there was a 5-minute quick start video. That's all I wanted. And I watched that, and I implemented just what the little thing that was in that video. And I had to turn off my cold leads. Basically, LinkedIn to me is like the world's best cocktail party. It's networking, right? So if you just apply whatever best practices you have for marketing, copy, it's all about copy. It's targeting and messaging, and that's it. So basically all I'm doing is I'm taking your client's own words and giving them back to them. And it's important for everybody. I mean, I sell lead generation, so most people know what that is, and I can comfortably just sort of talk from my own head and do well. But if I there's something called mirroring. Do you know what that is, Eva?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. Where so mirroring, if you guys don't know, if Elisa sits like this, I would sit the same way like that. If she leans back, I will lean back. If she says the same thing, I will say the same thing. I'm basically mirroring her.
Yeah, in a way that doesn't make it seem like you're copying me and being rude. But yeah, what happens is people feel comfortable, right? They feel relaxed and so there's certain words in copywriting that are these comfort words that I became aware of. And then I was like, well, why not just use the client's own words? And so I started using their own words in the messages going back. And like, they would say, oh my gosh, I really want my business to go on fire, and then la la la. And then I would reply back, well, if you really want your business to go on fire, like using as many of them as I could without it seeming totally nutso. So then that was working super well. So then I just started asking my clients for their testimonials. And so what we did with you is we looked at your testimonials, and you only want to grab your client's words for the same product or service, which makes sense. But don't accidentally, if you used to be in hair, which I was in the hair industry for 10 years, and now you're in marketing, and some hair people said some really cool things about you. It's not about you. It's about your clients and the products that you want to serve and service, capturing those words.
So before we dive into my profile and and we're going to show you exactly how Elisa is going and boosting it up. Before we dive into that, it sounds like the first thing that you have to do is the same thing that we tell people over and over and over again: know your avatar, right? Like, know who you're targeting. So let's address that for a second, right? Because what if what you're doing can apply to so many people? Like, hey, I can help internet marketers, and I can help coaches, and I can help consultants and CEOs and SaaS companies. What type of SaaS company, right? I can help all of them. So how do you go and narrow down your avatar so that it becomes effective and you're talking to them in their language?
Right. And when somebody says avatar to me, I'm thinking like the Matrix and robots and stuff. I'm like, what the hell, avatar? And I don't think of myself as the stupidest person in the world, but it's just all this thinking and figuring out and everything. If you can just go and cut and paste and scoop up some words and slap them on a page and organize them. And then what I do is I just look for the patterns. For you, what were people talking about? They were talking about audience was the number one word used for you.
Yes. So for me it was engagement, relationship, audience.
I don't see relationship.
You don't see relationship on the bottom there?
So I used word cloud and I dumped all the words that you gave me, but actually after I pulled out some stuff where they were just saying, EFAT's so awesome, we love EFAT, right? So I don't care about those words. So I'm taking all of the EFAT is awesome cheerleader stuff, and I'm looking for what they say the results were of working with you.
Okay, so how about we share the document that you came up with? And
the one that you have first?
Yeah, let's show that. But so guys, so this is what Elisa is doing. She's taking all the testimonials and exactly what she just said. She's taking the testimonial, putting them in word cloud, sees what the patterns are and kind of like figuring out what the patterns are. And based on that, she starts creating the copy. So we said, okay, we don't know who the avatar is, right? Like, how do we go about figuring out who to target on LinkedIn? What do we do with that?
So first of all, we know that maybe we only like to work with CEOs.
Okay.
Right? We're not going to talk to an assistant. And those are all targeting options inside of Sales Navigator. So that's basically a Sales Navigator lesson of who do I want to work with. And at the point of doing a LinkedIn profile makeover, you want to know who you're going to be selling to for the most part. But the term avatar and getting into their head and realizing that they like Diet Coke and they have 2.3 kids and they drive a whatever the heck they drive. Like I've heard people go through these avatar things and it just never clicked to me. So we know that we like to work with a certain kind of person. And what we love is people who have already worked with us. That's your avatar. Your avatar is your favorite clients, right?
There you go. Yeah, there you go. So Adelina is watching on the page. Nobi Clayman is on the page. He's saying so many people are here now starting to jump on LinkedIn as in experts on how to use it. So that's another thing, right, Elisa? There's so many all of a sudden. There's like mushrooms. I'm a guru. I'm an expert.
Oh my gosh,
use this.
Yeah. There's a billion people that you can listen to. Most important thing is to do something on LinkedIn. And I would say don't listen to any LinkedIn gurus. I would say just as soon as you realize LinkedIn is where you want to be, start actually focusing on high-level marketing people, marketing educators, because all lead generation is targeting where's your audience, and it's messaging. It's those two things on any platform.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's right. So we're gonna dive into the messaging now. Neville is here. He says, I made it in good time. Fantastic. So guys, right below this video on thatgeek.com/live, there's a button to join into the conversation. So after Elisa is done showing you how she uses her system on my profile, you guys can come in and ask any question that you want face to face. So let's do that. So you took all my testimonials and you put them into a word cloud and you arranged them in a Google Doc. So let's take a look at that and see what that looks like. And I got to tell you guys, as Elisa is bringing this up, when I saw these words, I'm like, hey, I'm pretty good.
Awesome. Yeah, you are. It's a great ego boost, but it's super cool to know what do people care about with you.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. So as Elisa is sharing this, let me just tell you a little bit more. Elisa, you're sharing your screen, right?
You were going to show that first document. I just kind of wanted to show the steps of it. That's okay. I'll just show the second generation. So basically all we did, hold on, let me share. Here we go.
I can bring the first one if you want.
Yeah, but just bring the first one so people get a visual. Some people are, I'm very visual.
Yes, I'm too.
If I can't see it, don't worry that I understand because I pretty much.
So I'm gonna bring it up. Give me just a second, guys. And let's me bring it up. So right here, I'm gonna bring up. So Lisa took that and put it in Google Doc. There you go.
Right. So this is the first step, is just cut and paste your testimonials, your favorite clients or your ideal clients if you've got enough of it. If you just scroll down really fast to show people how much there is there, this, like maybe a page and a half is awesome. 20 pages is a ton of work. This also works great for content creation. When people are talking about what's important to them, making sure that you're hitting on those things and using their own words. So what I did was I first cut and pasted everything. I had my assistant organize this by whatever topics they could see that were repeated. So now we've got our first step of, because it's a ton of lines and it kind of looks like a spreadsheet, and my brain goes dead when I see too much of this. I mean, doing this once is fine, but doing this every day all the time, it's a little blurry. Okay, so now we've got some different sort of areas that people are talking about you. So now I'm going to share my screen. And then the next step that I do is to look.
Can you make that a little bigger?
Yeah. How's that?
There we go. Fantastic.
All right. Okay, so the next thing I'm doing is I'm looking for a couple of things. So basically what we're going to be doing on the LinkedIn Makeover is banner is the first part of real estate. So the whole point of a LinkedIn landing page concept is every place that you've already got a strategy. A lot of people have a connection and messaging strategy. That strategy is the thing that allowed me to 3 to 4 times my business in a year when my mom and grandma were sick and I was barely working at all. So connection and messaging is one strategy. Well, when you connect with people, guess what? When we connected, I've got like 13,000 people in my network. You now are in a network that allows 13,000 more people to see you. Well, how about if we make your page so clear that all 13,000 people basically got pitched, potentially, who had an opportunity to see you. So let's not waste that. Or a lot of people are generating all of their clients off of a content creation strategy. All the lucky ones that have live video are doing that too. So it's coming for the rest of us humans soon. So,
I know, I applied like 10 times and like nothing.
Yeah, of course, if anybody should have it, you should. So you should apply again and use this copy of how you help people, and maybe it'll get you through. Okay. So what I do is I call it sort of a triangle of forward-facing copy, right? So it's the copy that's in your face when you're doing these different connection strategies that people are teaching right now. So the banner is one piece of real estate that we want to convert leads into clients, or to get them to stop for a second and maybe see a little bit more. So I get the banner going right, I get the benefits statement going right, and I like to put a little title in here. So what the title does is if you get tagged on a post, the first word or 2 words people generally will show up. Like I have Elisa Bennett, LinkedIn leads. I can't remember what, but anyways, people know right away, how can she help? How can she help? How can she benefit me, right? Because nobody cares about you. They care about what they can get from you. So let's make it super easy, because if I have to click and go to your website and everything else, no, I got to get, burgers for the kids or whatever. So, okay.
So actually, let's talk about this for just a second, because that's important. So, and let me remove this one for a second. So when Elisa is saying, I like to put a title, hers is lead gen expert. And what she means is like your first name, when you write your profile, you're going to put your full name in the first name, right? And the title will be in the second name, right? In the last name. That's what you mean?
Right. Yeah.
So that's how you get a title. So you see like her first name is Elisa Bennett. That comes into the first name field, user field, and then lead gen expert comes into the last name field.
Right. So then when I message somebody, at the top of the message, it says who I am, what I do, how I can benefit you. And if I get tagged, same thing. There's this awesome post that's going around with these LinkedIn leaders, and it's Bob, Janet, Fred, Ted, Elisa, lead gen expert. So people know right away. Nobody's going to click on 25 things to figure out how you can help them. How can you help somebody, right? Just make it super easy. All right. So then what I did was I'm going through. So if I'm thinking I want to create copy with a clear what you do title, which this is the whole thing with how awesome you are, EFAT. We really want to make it super, super clear what you do. And on all your testimonials, the words that I would have thought to use as a marketer, they're not using those words. So it's just beyond important. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm making it easy for me to see, for it to pop out for when we're creating this copy now and when you revisit it later. What people are saying is the benefit of working with you, any pain points that I see popping out. So this is all manual. This isn't word cloud. And then any title words that I see. So I'm just going through, gets your audience to know, and trust you in a way they haven't before. So I might, make this and make that bold and have that be a new video for you, right?
Okay.
So you're repurposing exactly, this is that mirroring exercise, using your client's words in the content that you create. So then I didn't get this until last night at 2:00 in the morning, but I'm just highlighting and I'm going down, connect with my audience live. The words they choose, the way they do it, that's what I'm looking for. And you got some friggin' banging results. Made 250 from a dead list of 7,000 who'd been hit with our offer over 3 years and never bought. I mean, that's friggin' awesome.
That was really good.
Yeah. So that could be, that probably might be a LinkedIn article, I think. Converted at 40%, delivers at least 10 to 1. So a lot of it is, EFAT's so awesome. People really liked you a lot. So I had a lot that I had to delete. Where it wasn't more than most
what a
people.
shame.
People love you. Well, yeah, but I'm looking for something specific.
Right.
So from that, these are the things that popped out to me. So for me, I couldn't not use the word live, even though your people aren't saying it a ton. But if we think about these 3 pieces of copy showing up at the top, there's other things that I do for a LinkedIn landing page makeover, but these top 3 are the ones that are seen by most people. So from there, I just couldn't give up live. I'm going to scroll down to the word cloud piece that I did.
So before you get there, I do have a question. I see that you said live marketing coach, and I'm very big on engagement. Would you drop the live engagement? And I'm not really a coach because I'm an agency. I offer it done for you.
Okay, so let's get out of your head, right? We're going to stop your thinking. You're not allowed to participate in this.
Okay.
This is you. You have the best view of your clients and how you interact with your clients. I have the second best view as a marketer of what you tell me, how you interact with your audience. So think of your audience as a teenager, and a teenager has their own logic. Then you're the parent, and you speak to them, but you guys don't understand each other. So let's get the same language, right? Where you can trick the teenager into understanding what you're talking about. And then, me, I'm kind of a little bit out of the loop. But I can guide, I can facilitate this counseling session and say, hey, Mama Bear, EFAT, let's look at what your teenage child is saying and let's repurpose those words. So then if we go here, Mama Bear, and we see results, right? Result. This is what they talked about you as far as titles, a trainer, a coach, marketing in your business. So basically what you can do, what I I'm doing right now is I'm proposing some lines of copy. I'm showing you how I got there. I'm showing you what I see. Then you can go back through and see it. What you don't want to do, what wouldn't be following the logic of what I'm doing here, is for you to think about what you do and think about the results that you get and write that down.
So so first of all, I love what you did just there, because you are so right. This was an example of us being inside our head and holding on to the way we want to present ourselves to the world. And you know what? A brand is not what you say you are. A brand is what your audience says you are. So thank you so much, Elisa.
But then there's another time and a place for you to just, jam out with whatever words would normally come out of your mouth. But the part where somebody hasn't met you before and you just connected with me and 13,000 people that don't even know what live video is, see that?
Yeah.
We want those people that could benefit from you to be able to take a second look and then hear you, do your song and dance.
So before we move on, guys, two things. One, if you want to participate, this is the link. You can hop on over and comment. And I see Nobi is asking, he says, it looks like a resume. What do you do if you don't have testimonials to work with or for word cloud? Okay, so
great question.
Yeah.
All right. If you go to my website, we just did this earlier today, EFAT. The link on my website, elisabbennett.com. Actually, let me just show you.
Actually, before you do that, so I'm just going to tell you, no, we're right to the right of the video. You are on imthatgeek.com/live. To the right of the video, you see a big, nice banner that says, get your free LinkedIn makeover. Click on that. That will take you to two places. First of all, and we wanted to share it to the end, but we're going to show you. It will take you to not this and not this. It will take you here. It will show you can have for free, opting in and get 5 days to learn how to generate leads you love. You can opt on in and join Elisa in a group, and you can do exactly the same thing that we are doing here today. But as you can see on the top there, just remove the I'm gonna mess it up. Remove the free LinkedIn marketing, and then you'll get to her website, and then I'll show you exactly what she's doing because she's sharing it right now. So there we go.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go.
Okay. So what these are? Who asked the question?
Nobi.
Okay. So this is from Eben Pagan, EBAN Pagan. A video that I saw about, and again, remember, listen to great marketers.
Yep.
And you're just looking for places that you can scrape out some leads. So what I've done is I've used this as an intake form. So when clients get on calls with me for their first call, this pops up. And this, if you screenshot it right now, these are the questions which you want to repurpose for your niche, how you help people. But these are Eben's his exact niche avatar questions. So then from that, what happens for me is this is a great format for me, keeping on point with what's important to my client for the initial call. It also is basically an automatic system that's feeding me content creation ideas and making sure that I'm constantly on point with what my what's most important with my niche. Which, if you're doing anything like this, like actually listening to your clients, even a tiny, tiny bit, it's going to put you way ahead of everyone else.
Totally. So if you don't have testimonials, then use a form like Elisa was showing. If you do have testimonials, get out of your head and just use the words that your clients are using. Don't be me. Use the words that your clients are using in order to create your profile. So after we looked at them and we kind of highlighted them and looked at everything, then next step, Alicia, is?
Okay. So then what I did at 3 o'clock in the morning was...
Lady doesn't sleep.
Honestly, I've been dying to help you get this going. Okay, so then it's not a matter of looking at it and going, oh, but it's just like taking a deep breath, looking at the words in that list, and because you're so much a part of creating your content, you'll probably want to revisit this and see how it feels. But these are just some options that I created. So this let's, these ones actually I liked better at about 3:30 in the morning. So let's see. Here we go. Okay, so live, I put in 2 different places, and remember we've got 3 spots that are showing up. So one thing that I like to do that Cody Butler taught me is to ask a question. So what a question does is it makes somebody's brain go in a loop. Well, I must answer this question. So it basically gives you an extra 1 to 3 seconds of somebody's attention. So ready for free, and free is one of those trigger words. There's like guarantee if you have one, certainly, put that in somewhere. Love, leads you love anyone? That's a trigger word.
That's true.
But those are general trigger words, right? So this would be places to put your clients' trigger words are most important, and audience was the number 1 for you. So the reason why I put the word live here first is because I think people are starting to get to know that word. And I know specifically on LinkedIn, it's a massively important word. So as you're up and coming, even though it's not showing up on your thing so much, I think one person did mention it though. So your clients are saying it. It's just not a heavy. And then they mentioned marketing, because I remember when a bunch of us were together, people were saying, well, what is it that you do? And nobody could understand it. So ready for free advertising that makes money off of a dead list who's never bought. Yeah, who's not ready for that? But that's exactly what your client said. So I'm word for word, right?
Yeah.
And that's very clear.
So wait, so that would be the banner, not the headline, right?
So what I like is for the banner to be the biggest piece of meat. And when you're asking a question, it tends to be longer just because the square footage that you have on mobile, the copy needs to be big enough to be seen.
Gotcha.
So the reason why I wouldn't do the question in this title position is because it'll be the first or second word, and then it'll get chopped off in most of the places that you're seeing. So you want this to be as short as possible. This one, usually like the first 5 words will show up in every spot. Other places, they'll see the rest of it. And then the banner copy, we just want to make sure that the font is as big on mobile as the font that LinkedIn's using. So LinkedIn's already tested for conversion size of font. We just want to make sure that you check it out on your cell phone and that it looks fine. We looked at your copy, Ethat, and on your LinkedIn mobile, your head's positioned off to the left. On mine, it's right in the middle. So I usually create copy above it just because on my platform I can see it. So just double check.
So let's do that, guys. So what Alicia is talking about is, if you're looking at my phone right now, you can see my face here and then my face above, right? And you can see the entire banner. So the first thing that you want to do is, after you create your profile, is pull it up on mobile and see what you see. Now she says that my head here moves to the side and hides the text here, right, Elisa?
Right.
So that's so if you're right now on mobile and you're not watching us on mobile, if you're watching us on desktop, and if you can go to my profile and tell me, do you see this the way I do, like this, or do you see it the way Alicia does, to the side and it's hiding? So is the banner looking good on all phones? The challenge is like, if it looks good on your phone and then it doesn't look good on your client's phone, challenge. So you probably want to ask your friends, pull up their phone, pull up their your LinkedIn profile on their phone and test it out. So if you're here right now and you want to test it, you're showing it to me. Let me see. So what does it look like?
I don't know why it just disappeared. Hold on. Yeah. Hold on. Okay. So what I'm talking about is, see the copy here.
Yep.
Your copy is perfect size, Ethat.
Yep.
This would be the smallest you'd want the copy to be, and your copy is like as big as this. So these 2 areas, LinkedIn has tested for, people that have grandma glasses can still read. So ideally, like, why not take advantage of every piece of square footage if you've got copy that converts to be seen? That's all.
Yep. That's a good idea. So Nobi, let us know if we answered your question. Guys, we are getting to the point where you can hop on in and actually interact and ask Elisa any question you want about your own profile, about your own business, about your own testimonials, your own words, how to position it. This will be the time. So let's finish with this. So we have the benefit options. We have easy live audience engagement that converts into clients.
Right. So where that would go is basically right here.
Yep.
So this is what I call the benefit statement. And this is also going to follow you around. So what we're doing is we're not trying to say the same thing in every single spot, but we're trying to see what did people say the most in your copy and pull out what's, like, for me, what I do is I'm like, what makes me freak out, fall in love with you, want to throw a bunch of money at you? Those are the pieces that I pick out.
Yep.
So you might pick out, doing it for yourself. You might pick out different things that, oh my gosh, my clients talk about this all the time. So that's the piece of copy that you want to pull out. Just, resist the temptation to reword it in your own words. That's all.
So guys, this is the profile makeover, but that's just one part of what will get you in front of people, right? That will be the first thing of why people might want to accept your invitation. And then,
right.
Yeah, and then after that, it's like, now that's the outreach, right? And that's when you start talking to people. And I've been seeing 2 people who were just this week, we're talking about spams. Spam messages. One person was saying that they were running a page for a company, and they're saying, the spam in LinkedIn is 3 times the spam that comes in Facebook, which is amazing because usually Facebook was all about advertising. But now you're getting all that stuff in messages, and people are becoming, what do you call that? Like jaded, right? They're like, okay, everybody's just trying to sell me on LinkedIn. So
Elisa, well, if you don't want to get seen, I'll teach you a little trick. So
yeah.
Okay, so basically what spam means, it sounds like a bad word, but basically it's I sent you a message that you didn't already say, hey, Elisa, send me this message, right?
Yep.
And that's how 4 times my business in a year, not working very much. So that's also what cold email is, right?
Yeah.
So people say spam and people say they don't like getting these messages. And I know what they're talking about when the targeting is off, when the messaging is off. And then when you layer in automation, there's a greater and greater and greater chance for it not to be perfect for you. Well, let me tell you what I love about that conversation. It's keeping as many people away from doing that strategy as possible. So you can sneak in if you want to and do it very, very well. When I reach out to people and message to people, they send me messages back like, I get these messages all the time, but there's something about you or something about your message or whatever. And that's the point, right?
Right.
You literally don't want to do business with everyone.
Yep.
You do not. So yes, there's the whole spam element, and there's a bunch of lazy people out there. But if you would prefer not to get messages from people, but you'd like to stay public, why don't you misspell some words? Literally, this is a hack for Sales Navigator. So this is what I teach people to do on Sales Navigator.
Okay, so hold on a second, Alicia. Stop sharing your screen so we can see the full view. Yeah, and guys, this is the moment. ThatGeek.com. We're going to take a little commercial break and let you see exactly where you can come and interact with us, and then we're going to dive into exactly how to message people. So here we go. So This is your moment. This is your time. You're never gonna get to pick Elisa's brain in real time like this unless you become one of our clients. Take advantage of that. Hop on in and let's have a conversation. So this is probably one of the hardest things. Hey, Robin Lewis is here and he says, great advice. One of the hardest things that people deal with is after they look like $1 million, right? Now they forget all their social manners and they start getting into people's messages and start going like, hey, do you want me to fix your broken funnel? I got that message and I was like, well, you're assuming 3 things. 1, I have a funnel. 2, it's broken. 3, I don't know how to fix it. And I finished with like, you know what it says about assuming, right? And so, so the woman laughed, and that's
what does it mean?
Makes an ass out of you and me, right? So it's really funny when people are jumping into other people's inboxes or messages and don't even get to know them first. So how do you create that transition from like, let me get to know you and let me get to know that you're a good lead for me, or let me get to know you and let's just be besties?
So I have tested the get to know okay, so everybody says all the marketers say that you don't get married on the first date, and I say bullshit. Yeah, my grandma got married after 3 weeks, and I like it. So yeah. Yes, if you're the right guy and you've got a martini and we're at the bar, we might be getting married on the first date. It can happen. So don't say no if you've got your messaging down. So I've tested doing the, hey, let's connect, and hey, do you want to buy my stuff thing? Yeah. And I've tested the, hey, let's connect, hey, let's have a relationship, and here's the 3rd, and here's the 4th, and here's the 5th message, and hey, do you want to buy my stuff? The conversion's the same on both.
Oh, interesting.
Except one takes a lot longer, and in my opinion is super, I do not like people wasting my time. And, get to the point. What do you want?
Right.
So yeah, how can you help me? And that's the whole point of all of this copy makeover. So what I say is, now that you know how to do the cheat sheet, then in your messaging, use your ideal client's words and, connect with them, because you do want to grow a network. The networking is awesome. And I think where people get stuck is they think about it as lead generation and they throw away all this massive opportunity, right?
Oh, okay. So say some more about that.
Well, you and I met, and we've had conversations, and now we're doing this live, and all these things are happening from networking, right? I didn't just meet you and say, hey, do you want to buy my stuff?
Right.
So you can target people, a group of people that you know that you want to ask them, hey, do you want to buy my stuff? After they've connected and they see clearly who you are and clearly how you can help in their own words. And then what happens is, only 6% of people are going to be ready to do business with you at any given time. That's when the content creation strategy comes into place. And a lot of people, you need to stick to your brand and be true to your brand. You do not need to be doing a strategy that works for me, because I'm a very honest, to the point, let me tell you what's going on person. If you're at a cocktail party, you are literally going around in circles on the outside of the party and just hi, and let's meet at another cocktail party. If that's your personality, then you don't want to do my strategy. Hey, buy my stuff. But you might want to connect, go to that party, connect with these ideal clients, and then start a content creation strategy.
So let's talk about these 2 things, right? You got the content creation strategy and the connection, and this is super, super important because there are 2 different things, right? One of them is outreach, where you're actively going out and finding the people that you want to work with, and you're messaging them and you're building those relationships, business relationships. And the other one is where you're telling stories and sharing anecdote and sharing videos and creating content and adding value to the cocktail party. So because we're talking about getting leads that you love, let's focus on the messaging. And let's say manually, right, you're going to go and look for the people that you want to connect with, and then you're going to send them a connection message. and hopefully you add a note to it, kind of tell them why you want to connect, even though some people.
Yeah. Well, no. So no, you're not going to be pitching in your connection message. What you're doing is you're building your network and your connection message of your tribe, the people that you love and you want to be surrounded by, right? So I really do want to connect with you, Fat, and have you be part of my network, right?
Yep.
For sure. And so then the second thing is, and you also happen to be my ideal client, and I just wanted to check and make sure they didn't even know, right?
Gotcha.
And no, okay, great. Well, I look forward to seeing your content and engaging with you. Just hint, come and engage on my coffee. So yeah. And then I've got other things to tell you about your LinkedIn page, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. So let's do that.
Okay.
So while you're doing that, Stuart, you know where to go. thatgeek.com/live, and click the button right below the video, and you're gonna hop on into our call, and we can ask any question in real time. Adelina was saying that it gets cut off on her mobile, so I'm gonna be changing my banner very soon. Thanks for checking. Okay, so let's take a look at my profile.
Your banner is beautiful, by the way. I absolutely love it. But yeah, if you just push this copy a little bit to the right, then you'd be fine. Also, you have credibility logos here, which I wasn't able to see until just now, and I think that those are kind of cool. So maybe you might want to make those a little bit bigger along the bottom, and people might be able to see them better.
Okay.
Or you could flip them horizontally, and maybe have it on the left side here.
On the top. Got it. Oh, I see.
If you're pushing your content over there.
Okay.
And I like the direction of your face, the way that your face is focused. A lot of people will have the face focusing outward. So these are all marketing practices, right? All the stuff you learn when you're in anybody's live, little marketing tips and tricks, just layer, 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 layer. So one marketing tip for your LinkedIn landing page, which is just what I call it, is to gate your page. So that means you don't want people to be distracted by security guru at SKF, Amber Hart, right? You can get rid of the people also view.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, this is not, you do not need to be basically a lead generation machine for Amber.
Yeah.
And Karen's treasurers. See, LinkedIn doesn't even know what you do.
No.
You're doing some other totally different business.
Well, that might explain why I never get invited to do lives.
LinkedIn don't know what you do. How can anybody else? So you gate your page. Another thing I like is
okay. Wait. So how do I get my page?
Yeah. I'll have to. Is there a way we can share a link to how to do that later?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good.
Go. And actually, is that part of the LinkedIn Makeover Challenge?
Yeah, we can add that.
Okay. So, guys, if you want to learn how to get your page, right here, thatgeek.com/live. And right to the right of the video, you're going to see a banner with Elisa's makeover, and that will take you here, right here. And when you opt in, you're going to learn all these tricks and tips that she's teaching me right now. You can do that for yourself in 5 days. If you're watching me on Facebook, if you're watching me on Twitter, if you're watching me on YouTube, this is going to be gone once the live broadcast is over. The only place that you will be able to catch it is on the site, and I'll share with you the reasons later on. The biggest one is because I want people to take action. And just watching is not going to make you take action and make sure that you actually improve your LinkedIn, get your leads, get the sales, get all the jazz that you want. So I've been trying to figure out a way to not just give you information, but actually give you results. And that's going to be one of them. So if you're watching us right now and you are not on thatgeek.com, then you want to be there, because that's where you can grab Alicia's information, and that's when you can watch the replays if you need to watch them again. So this is how you need to gate your profile, and you're gonna learn that in here. And you can find this page once you come to thatgeek.com, right to the right of the video, grab that. All right, so we're gating our page, and Me and
Okay,
English.
and I like to make this area as clear as possible. So I like to give people one option. So I think when I'm creating a strategy, what's the low-hanging fruit? What is the like? Let's say you're a public speaker and you really want to get those $20,000 gigs, but you know that the sales cycle is 12 to 24 months for that. But you also have this coaching program that's, you know, let's say 1,500, whatever, that's for individuals. And usually the second you get somebody on the phone, they're your client, basically, no. So you just need to start reaching out to those people. So then the copy would be, and the strategy would all be around that. And then whatever the link that you have that converts is. So right now, if we look at we've got 3 options. Which one actually converts? I just redid my website, which is, it was like $6,000. I did a photo shoot that was off the hook. I mean, all this weird stuff that I did, but the template, the platform for this, just a friggin' landing page, it was already tested to convert. So we don't want to we've gated your page, right? We're not going to, nobody's going off to see Amber now. So we also want to gate this traffic to only see converting stuff happening on LinkedIn if it's set up that way, or your most highly converting page that you can send people to.
Gotcha. Okay, and this is a great way, guys, for all of us to actually test what's converting, right? You're going to change that and see how that converts, how that works. Or you can just send cold traffic to it, right? And see if it converts, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So now let's say your masterclass was your highest converting thing that you wanted to do. So it would just be one option here. Phone number, if that's how you convert people, of course, include that.
How do I control all that stuff? Where is it?
That is, let's go into mine.
And I love that we're doing this live, guys, because I'm looking at this, I'm like, that's not the information I want people to have. And I'm looking at my profile, and I'm like, where do I change that stuff?
Yeah. Let's see. So did you see how that was at the bottom? So we're just looking for pencils. And also, I'd really love to see if you are going to include your email address for it to be a branded domain. So not a Gmail domain.
Yep.
It makes people think you're more fancy. That extra $5 makes you super fancy.
Which I love that you say that, because I definitely do not want my Gmail address out there.
Yeah, so double check what you've got going on in your contacts, because people are looking. And generally speaking, websites are super not necessary, but people, it's a credibility thing, that's it. So if you just want to have a page there, which that's all I have is a page, people love it. But, you know, if you have a website for some reason, that means that you're legitimate.
Yeah. And if you don't have a website, we know people to get you a website.
Completely illegitimate. So in your about section, if you just have 2 pieces of links to, like this goes to a podcast that I did, and this goes to one of my testimonials, a testimonial reel in this place would be awesome. And then the other part for testimonials that I love is recommendations. This is my favorite law of reciprocity piece on LinkedIn. Give some recommendations, people. One of my clients, just from her giving a recommendation to me, she got a client off of that. So so what happens is now, see how people are showing up on my page, right?
Yeah.
So now people can go and check these people out. Don't give fake recommendations. Only give real ones, but don't hold on to your compliments. And I know we've only got 5 minutes left, so I think we got a lot in for the profile page.
I love it. So guys, if you have any questions, and I say, Stuart, you made it. If you have any questions or anything that you want to ask Elisa about your own profile, If you did not get any of your questions in, then you know what to do, right? You need to go to thatgeek.com/live and click on the banner next to the video where you are going to get Elisa's 5 days makeover. Lead generation in 5 days. She's going to show you how to automate that. And guess what? I'm on it. So I'm going to be on it with you. Charlotte is asking, I want clients, and what is compelling content that sells? That's the $1 million question. Do you want to unshare your screen, Elisa? And then...
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. There we go.
Okay, so what's compelling content? Let's go back to the cheat sheet. What are your clients saying, right?
Yep.
So yeah. So if you remember at the very beginning, I had those five questions, and they're basically your clients' pain points and what's important to them. And what happens is you start to develop a personality. Yeah. So each platform, you'll start posting and it'll feel kind of stiff and weird, like the first time you get on video. You're just like, oh, what am I doing? And then you get out of your head and you start actually dialoguing with people, right? Mm-hmm. So I would say the very first post would be exactly what you just said to me. Maybe do a video and say, hey guys, what's I haven't been on here lately if you haven't, or if you had, whatever. But I just got off this live thing and I was totally wondering what's important to you guys. Or what, think of how it would make sense for you to have that first question and then start listening.
I love that. And the start listening is super, super important. One of the things that I tell everyone, when we're talking about live video and why should you have your own show, we're talking about like Oprah, right? Like, what is Oprah? I'm going to ask you, what's Oprah's superpower? What is she really, really good at? Alicia, do you know?
I have been following Oprah since forever, and I think I know the answer to this question.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, but I mean, Oprah's, I think she also loves what she does too. I think that helps. Like, she has passion for it. She has excitement, and I think it makes people sparkly. And I kind of think, I think sometimes she gets into her own head a lot too. But her job is to listen, so she's forced to do it.
There you go. Ta-da. Yeah. You nailed it. So Oprah is a fantastic listener. And then you're right, she empathizes. She's just human. She loves it and she shows emotions and she connects. So she's a great listener and she's a great connector. And that's what built her entire empire, right? Not being the guru or the expert or the know-it-all or all that stuff. She's just a great listener and she made people feel at home. And so if you want to become Oprah, then grab that skill, become a good listener, and do exactly what Elisa was doing. Listen to what people say about you and use that, mirror them, and let that portray who you are. So that's fantastic. Stuart is here and he wants to ask you a question. So Stuart, hop on in.
Well, thank you, Ifat. And sorry it took me a little bit of time to get in here. I had to move all the beer bottles out of the way.
Not a problem. Glad you're here.
But I'm curious. I'm new and I would be new to using LinkedIn. And so I will go back and review everything that's available that you said earlier, because I came in right as EFAT went live or opened up. My question is probably something you've covered, but in my previous career, 31 years in investment real estate, finding the pain point was critical in creating client relationships. If you can find the pain button and lean on it gracefully, trying to be empathetic unless there really is. How do you find the easiest way to uncover that while not coming across as a spammer or salesman?
Sales to me means help. So I think the first thing, sales to me means help, HELP, right? So I think the first thing that we need to do is quit feeling like we're doing bad things to people, or we might come across bad, because mindset is something that I've been studying and focusing on. I'll even do a meditation before a call when I get a little bit a little bit stressed out, because it kind of lets the voices in your head chill. Well, so when you can get on that call and you can listen and have the conversation. If I think that I'm helping somebody, and even right before I get on a call, think that I care about this person, then I can focus in a totally different way. It comes across perfectly. And then if I choose on that call that this is not somebody that I want to care about, then we just, separate. And that's not a client that you're going to bring on, right? But think I'm attracting clients to me that I'm going to love working with, and think on this call that I'm going to do everything I possibly can to benefit this person. They hear that stuff, it comes across. So you're already prepped.
My previous training and previous experience, we called it client counseling, and it was 100% based on listening and asking a question, and then most importantly, asking the question behind the question. There's always a question behind the question. There's always an answer behind the answer.
Well, you sound very
thank
smart.
you very much. Yeah, well, I had some real good teachers along.
Sounds like it.
Anyway, thank you. You've got a brilliant personality.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Yvette.
My pleasure.
And if I knew how to take this hand down, I'd do it.
That's okay. And I'm glad you found a way to get in. We're getting questions and comments in on the page and on social. Guys, you're missing the opportunity, but that's okay. Charlotte said she loves that, so thank you very much. Robin Lewis says, great advice about my favorite client's words. I'm following you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nobby is, hopefully you got your questions answered, and you know how to find reviews and how to find testimonials if you don't have them yet. And if you don't know, again, right to the right of this video, get your free LinkedIn Makeover Challenge. You can model exactly what Elisa is doing for herself and her clients. And when you get success with that, come on over and let us know that it actually worked, because that will make our day. Right, Elisa?
Absolutely.
So thank you so very much. This was, as you say, so this is one of the things I got to tell you guys. If you're ever thinking about okay, who should I work with and who should I listen to? One of the most important things is to work with someone who's not afraid of some tough love. And I love the way that you just did it today. Get out of your head. This is what you're thinking. This is not what we were doing right now. I want you to succeed. Follow my lead. And that's really what you're looking for in a coach. So you had a great example of what it looks like to work with Alicia, and take your free profile makeover. Click to the right there, and you're gonna get here. And in 5 days, you can also look like $1 million and start tapping into the gold rush that is LinkedIn. So thank you so much. I know this is the first time you're not offering it to anyone. This is the first time that you're offering it here, right?
For your group, absolutely.
So this is fantastic, guys. You are getting the first dibs into some goodies right here. So thanks a lot. And any questions, any comments, anything right now, guys, just put it right here below, and we'll make sure that you get that answered. Or better yet, hop in and get your own makeover in 5 days. Last words, Elisa?
Just, I love what you're doing. Pick the platform that feels right for you. It doesn't have to be LinkedIn. If you're jamming out on Instagram, max bet on Instagram. Get everything that you can there. The goal is for you not to be taken, for something not to sneak up on you, right? So if something happens and Instagram's algorithms change, you want to have another source of leads. Maybe then it is time for you to do LinkedIn. Maybe then it is time for you to do Facebook. And now you've got 3. If you've just got one source of leads and that goes bye-bye, you got no business, right?
Yeah.
So make sure you have multiple sources of leads, and your technology EFAT will help to optimize something that somebody's doing on one platform for every platform. I love what you're doing. I love LinkedIn. It's a great truth.
And she loves her leads. And if you want leads that you love too, right there, go do that. So thank you so very much. And everybody has a great week. And we'll see you in the next show. Bye.
Bye.